We all have failures in our lives and we don't know how to deal with them because people never talk about failures. They always talk about success. They always talk about what they are going to do when they're going to get success, which restaurant they're going to, which sweets they're going to distribute, they're going to do parties and all. And list goes on and on. And no one tells what we are going to do when we are going to fail. Because we are so afraid to use this word failure. We don't want to even utter. Even our parents are afraid to share their failures because they feel insecure. What if their children will start calling them failure? And what they do instead? They tell their children, okay, if you are going to get this much marks in your class, we are going to buy you this. If you are going to get this rank in IEEE, we are going to buy you bike. We are going to buy you car. But they never talk. We are going to stand by you. What to do when you are going to confront failure? They never talk about failures. And we feel embarrassed. When we fail, we feel so embarrassed that we don't want to show our face to this world. We don't want to talk to anyone. What happens when we don't know how to deal with failures? When we don't know how to deal with failure, we think failure is the end of our lives. And most of us get into depression. And when we are in depression, we just want to be alone. We don't want to share our feelings with anyone. And after depression, there is one stage comes when we start getting suicidal thoughts. And if we don't share with someone that we are struggling with our mind, we are going to commit suicide. And I believe committing suicide is not the solution to any problem. But this is the problem we need to think about. According to WHO research, 1 million people commit suicide every single year. 1 person every 40 seconds. We are afraid to fail. And before we fail, we always think, if I fail, what if my parents won't accept me? What if my friends make fun of me? What if I don't get the job I want to get? And list goes on and on. There is a beautiful quote by Tony Robbins. Where focus goes, energy flows. If we focus on positive, we are going to take positive actions and we are going to get positive results. And if we are going to focus on fear, it means we are going to focus on the outcome instead of focusing on preparation. And it's obvious, if we are not going to focus on preparation, we are going to fail. Now the question is, how to deal with failure? We need to understand that failure is a part of our life, not the end of our life. Once we understand this fact, we are not going to get stressed. We are not going to get into depression. And we are not going to get any negative thought that forces us to make the wrong decision. If we fail after so much hard work, maybe this is the sign that that person, thing, job, college is not meant for you. Or we need to change the way we work to get different results. Before I get my first job, I came to realize that I'm not good at reasoning because each and every organization take an online exam and reasoning is the part of that. Because of that, I failed in many interviews. And once I realized that I need to focus on reasoning, I started learning. And I believe after 2 or 3 interviews, I got selected. Now come to the second job. Before I get my second job, I had wrong mindset. Because the profile I was looking for, I didn't have any experience in production, but I worked in pre-sales. And my mind was saying, no, no one is going to take you. It's no use. Everybody is going to reject you. And that's what happening with me. I got 8 or 10 rejections before I get second job. And when I realize I've written old pattern and new pattern on my notepad, and I started repeating new pattern. What was that? I just need to have good knowledge about the subject, and I am eligible for the new job. And I've told you before in many videos that our actions come from our thoughts. And I've started taking actions. I started preparing for an interview. I went for an interview and I got selected. It's no use of being afraid of failure, because this is life. Life is full of ups and downs, and we cannot run away from failures. Failures are nothing but the lessons we need to learn. Have you ever seen a single person on this planet who is successful and who never failed? I didn't see so far. If you have any person on your list, please let me know in the comments below. Say Thomas Edison. He failed 9,999 times before he invented bulb. If he can do, so we can do. Parents, please don't feel insecure. Start sharing your failures with your children and how you overcame them before you lose your children. I believe the more we are vulnerable, the better it would be. Because when we are vulnerable, when we are real, this world feel comfortable. And other people will be open to talk about their struggles, to support each other. I am working with 4 people, and before that I have already worked with 2 people. And 6 of them were in depression. And 2 people already recovered from that. And 4 people are working on that. Recently, one of them started making YouTube videos. He was so afraid to come out of his house. And today he is going out and making videos, taking interviews of other people to know more. It just made me so happy. I'm so grateful that he improved his life a lot. If he can do, I can do. So many people can do. So can you. One girl out of them has been thinking for months to commit suicide. On 14th of June, another girl who I'm working with, she told me about that girl. That after 2 years, one of my friend called me and her behavior was completely different. I said to her, maybe she needs some help or maybe something is going on in her life. When she told me that she is thinking about committing suicide, I was so afraid. I was just praying, please universe, save this girl. I don't want her to take this wrong step. And on the very same day, I've written one post on committing suicide. On the very next day, I called that girl and I asked her, why do you think of committing suicide? what makes you do that? And she told me, in her school, no one likes her. Everybody makes fun of her. And it's really hard for her to stay there. And she changed her school. In the second school, also, she is suffering from the situation. Everybody is making fun of her. And she started thinking she's worthless. She's a failure. No one likes her. I've shared that post with her. And in the morning, she checked and said me, thank you so much for sharing this post. Because that post was really helpful for her. And I'm so grateful that today she's feeling really good. She started working on herself. And she told me that she wants to heal herself. And she will take all steps, whatever she needs to take. If you didn't watch Shishore movie, I really recommend you to watch it. This is parents must watch movie. This movie is about what makes our children to commit suicide. If you find this video useful, feel free to share, comment and like. Let's make a difference.